We up in this piece. Good morning, good afternoon, pseudos and pseudo killers. We up in this piece. Look at this big dog. Look at this man. Look at this animal. Look at this animal. Look at this animal. What's going on, everybody? Sorry I was a little bit late. All right, buddy. Go ahead. Had a lot of shit going on. All right, but we up in here. What's going on, Mongol Slave? Black to Egypt. Paragon. Dash Herb. Tuck my eye. What up, what it do? We in here. Wipe y'all feet off. Hit that like button. Thirsty Uno. Yeah. Yo, I fell asleep last night. My bad. So I took the stream down because it was like 4 hours of me being asleep on it. But the crazy part about it is, went to sleep, fell asleep on the stream, and there was still 42 people in the morning when I woke up, still on the goddamn stream. This pseudo killer shit is official. Right? It is official. We here. Ain't no debating. This what we do. Hit that like button. Yeah, don't forget the L. It's very important. That's very important. But let me get this this Zoom set up. Mika, what's up? Yeah, they went to sleep with the killers. I respect it. Ain't no hard feelings. Boom. You know what I mean? Copy invite link. But it was a hell of a discussion last night. It had went all over the place. But I think that we got somewhere. So, but what up, James? So what did y'all think about the stream last night, the show, before we fell asleep on the stream? Goddamn back hurt. Yo said get Wisdom back on the panel. Wisdom was kicking that shit, wasn't he? Kicking that shit. Airplane James. Yo, Wisdom was on that shit. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. He was killing y'all. But we had a good show. We had a good panel. I think everybody brought the perspective that I wanted to be on the panel. You feel me? I wanted excuse me, I didn't stutter. I wanted the moderates, right, on the topic. I wanted the anti and Afrocentric. Well, I wanted that. The moderates, I wanted the Afrocentrics, right? And I wanted the I didn't draw a blank. But I had everybody on the panel that I wanted. Every part of the conversation was represented by at least one person on the panel. So it was good. Yeah, so I'm waiting for Unc and them to come in here now. So Murray Lethbridge's pushback to Black Athena was It was actually a pushback against Afrocentricity or Afrocentrism, right? And what she deemed to be the distortion of history by Afrocentrists, right? And mainly on the college and the university level. That was her fight, you know. Hold on, got my man Vance in the building. That was her fight. So let me see. Vance, what up? Vance must be watching a football game or something. I don't know. But anywho, yeah, I feel like we had a diverse panel on. You know, Reggie and Unc are my extreme Afrocentrists, right? That take that line. Haskell, you know, was in the car with him. Wisdom, and you know, it's crazy because Pan African James was actually the moderate on the topic, and it seems as though Unc and Reggie was more blackologist on that topic than Pan African James. Pan African James been doing a good job lately, though. I ain't gonna lie. I've been liking his conversation lately. And then you know my man Google Scholar always stay right in the middle and go with where the information goes at. Stu Pease, and Gozy, you know, did his thing with showing the genetics of it. My man Wisdom, he brought the Canaanite part into it. I don't know what that is, but it was good to hear. It was a different voice. Yeah. So chronological James. Yes indeedy. Yes indeedy. So yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can get this popping now. Unc had read a source, and man, Unc was arguing over the Murray Lethowich source that he read. I'm gonna read it. And I told Unc I have no problem with admitting if I'm wrong, right? But I think it was in I think it was I feel like Unc read her quote as in isolation. Now, what do I mean about that? When you read a quote in isolation, you don't take in the various information that you know on the subject, right? And you don't take in consideration the person that you're quoting understanding of said subject, right? So, Murray Lethowich, in my opinion, was speaking as if Greek understanding or ancient Greek understanding about their world was understood by the readers that she was writing to. All right? So in chapter 2, or in her whole book, I think she was addressing people who were somewhat familiar, right, with Greek culture, ancient Greek culture, right? So it was certain things that I believe that she was assuming that the readers had already known. So she didn't have to explain everything. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Now, when I read it, now, man, Unc talked about this earlier. And he said out of his mouth, I could see your point. You dig what I'm saying? So I know I'm not, you know. All right. Let me get pull this book back up. All right, it was not out of Africa. Oh. All right. Y'all with me? I think it was. All right. Uh, it was chapter 2. Give me a second, y'all. Let me find it. Yo said, how much do I want for that bike? Yo, that bike, you know, that's a 29 Mongo. That's a 29-inch BMX. That ain't no little BMX like you had when you was a child. That's a big boy. Then I got the custom mags put on it. Um, I got a I got a rattler. Um, yeah, it's hooked up. I changed a few things on there, but I got a couple of them though. All right, let me see. Let me get to this. All right, there's a lot of stuff in here, man. She covered a lot of stuff. And I don't think Unc read this book. He keep claiming he did, but it was some things that he said um, that I told him I don't think he read it. Um, but I don't want to argue with him about it because maybe he did read it but didn't remember half of the shit that he read or her overall position on certain things. That's possible. So we ain't gotta keep beefing over it. See, like right here, you know, were the natives of ancient North Africa black? You feel me? She questioned all of the blackology standpoints. All right, here we go. Yeah, this where he was at. Hold on. I think this was it. Give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to pick up right from where Unc was reading at. Unc, where you at, yo? Where was you reading at? All right, here you go. All right, here we go. All right, let me make sure. Let me get Unc and them in here before I start reading. Give me a sec. Hey, Vance, tag Unc and them. Boom. And like I said, I could be reading this all wrong. I could be reading this all wrong, but let's see. And remember, I prefaced. Hey Vance, I'ma make you co-host so when people come in while I'm reading, you can just go ahead and let their funky asses in. All right. It said, this is what Unc read. This is where Unc read from. It says, and this is what we started the beef about, right? It says, what did the ancient Greeks look like? From portraits on seal rings, paintings on vases, and sculptures in clay and stone, it is possible to get a good sense of how they saw themselves. Written texts describe a variety of hair color ranging from brown to black and skin color ranging from light to dark.
Hey, Suffering.
Hello?
Suffering.
What's up?
My bad, bro. Really sorry to cut you. Yo, the video from last night, are you going to put it back up?
No, I deleted it. Wow, what's wrong?
Wow. Nah, because I was actually watching it this morning when I think you cut it off while I was watching it. The shit just went out. And I got to the part where Google Scholar was going at it with Haskell. And I think Google Scholar was really about to get at Haskell, and it just cut off and like I was really enjoying that show, and I was so disappointed that you know what I mean that it just went away. So I was just wondering if you were gonna
Yeah, I
put it
deleted it
back
because
up.
it was like a
He's
4 hour.
selfish. He's selfish, Dream. Suffering is selfish for that.
Yeah, that was a good show, man. I was really enjoying it. Google Scholar was about to really go in, I think, or he actually did his
Yeah.
thing. So I was really disappointed, you know, because I wanted to hear what Haskell's response was going to be. Um, but yeah, I was just disappointed. But yeah, that's it. Just hoping that you would have put it back up.
Nah, I
But
think
yeah,
you
man, y'all be good. Peace.
peace. All right. It says, what did the ancient Greeks look like? Now this is Mary Lethowich. Again, this is what Unc read. All right. It says, from portraits on seal rings, paintings on vases, and sculptures in clay and stone, it is possible to get a good sense of how they saw themselves. Written texts describe a variety of hair color ranging from brown to black skin color, ranging from light to dark. Vase paintings, because of the limited colors available to the potters, give a more schematic impression. Women are usually portrayed with white faces. If the background of the vase is black, the men have black faces. If the background is the color of the clay from which the vase is made, men have reddish brown faces. They distinguish themselves clearly from Egyptians and Ethiopian peoples in their art and literature. The Africans have flat noses, curly hair, and thick lips. Their skin color is portrayed with black glaze, or on occasion, plain unglazed terracotta. They regularly speak of the Egyptians' dark skin and sometimes of their curly hair. Herodotus supposed that the Colchians, a people who lived in the eastern coast of the Black Sea, were Egyptian because they were dark-skinned, Melichorus, and curly head, Olotrechus. He identifies a pair of doves as Egyptian in origin because they are dark, melaninae. But although the Greeks knew the Egyptians to be what we would now call people of color, they did not think less or more of them or any other Africans on that account. To them, the salient fact were that these other peoples were foreigners. End quote. Now, Unc was proposing that Mary Lethbridge was saying the same thing as Dr. Ben. He was saying, you disagree with Dr. Ben, but Mary Lethbridge just said the same thing as Dr. Ben and them. Now, if I was to read that quote in isolation and not know that Mary Lethbridge was a Greek scholar, all right? Now, her background, when she put words like Melagoras, right? Melanchorus, right here, and stuff like that, in quotation marks, those words, this is what the Greek said, right? When they said dark skin, right? They used this word for the Egyptian. They used this word, right? Now, for all other Africans south of Egypt, right? They use the word Ethiopian. You see the difference? Now, this word Melichorus, right, was used for dark-skinned people all around the Mediterranean. Even dark-skinned people who was darker than the Greeks that lived in India, people who lived in Syria, and all of these different places, when the Greeks spoke of the color being different from them, right, and being darker, just like the Egyptians, they used this word, melanchorus. Now, when they talked about people south, right, of Egypt, they called them Ethiopians. Right, now, check this out. Now, feel me where I'm going at. All right? Herodotus and them claimed, Greeks, again, Herodotus and them who did the histories and the geographies of the world, in the Greek world, they said that the land of Ethiopia starts below or south of Egypt. Now, they gave the geography on it. If Egypt was a part of Ethiopia, the Greeks would have said that Egypt is Ethiopia or is a part of the Ethiopian world. No, they said the land of the Ethiopians is south of Egypt. Y'all get that point? So Murray Lethbridge could not be saying the same thing as Herodotus. They couldn't. She's the Greek scholar. Now, if you know anything about Greek history and their travels and stuff, they named people, right? They called the people south of Egypt Ethiopian. Now, the country of Ethiopia did not exist at that time. So take out the country of Ethiopia. They're talking about a region and a people, their phenotype. Their phenotype, Ethiopian burnt-faced people, right? And they drew these people, and they made sculptures and vases of their faces and their color out of terracotta. This is what she's saying, right? This is what she's saying. So Unc was trying to say that this was Mary Lethbridge talking. No, she was speaking from the Greek perspective, how the Greeks portrayed the Egyptians and other Africans. That's what she was saying. And she was saying by their accounts, right? Are y'all walking with me? She was saying by their art and by their writing, right? That we nowadays would consider the Egyptians a people of color. That's what she said. Are y'all following me? Am I making any sense? Who on this goddamn panel? So this is what me and Unc was arguing.
It's clear. That's clear to me.
Oh, Corey on here. Oh, yeah. So that's what's up.
But yeah, I you know, there's something wrong with me. So when I agree with you, I don't put much stock in me agreeing with you. Somehow we just be the crazy niggas all the time.
Yeah.
Somehow, Shepherd. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I think something wrong with it. But, you know.
I'm trying to figure out how, and I was telling Unc earlier, I'm like, yo, you come on and you force arguments on us. Right? And I told him earlier, Corey, I said, you wasn't on the call. I was like, yo, you got to stop doing that, right? Forcing arguments on us, and we got to stop taking the bait, right? Because he'll make an inflammatory statement and say, are you saying this? And he'll come off so aggressive that as men, we'll take a position. And I was saying, yo, some things I don't have a position on. And I'm like, Uncle forced me to take a position on some shit that I don't even, you feel me? Some shit that I'm not even arguing. Because he'll already have an argument ready for the position that he want to fight, right? And he
built the straw man already.
Yeah, and he'll try to make you take the position. And you be like, well, Uncle, I wasn't even talking about that. That ain't even but he'll be like, are you saying this? You know what I mean? And he be already ready. And then as a man, you go ahead and take the position, right? And now you got to argue that shit. I'm like, yo, you're not going to make me argue with Mary Lethbridge like she's saying the same thing as Dr. Ben. I won't do that. Like, that's crazy. Right. But,
so you know, like the point that y'all was making, is that what you was reading? The point y'all was making last night about the description that the Greeks gave the Egyptians and like sub-Saharan Africans, I guess.
Yeah.
When they talked about, you know, the dark skin or whatever.
Yeah. Unc was saying
that was definitely.
Yeah, hold on.
even last night, I
But
came in on the panel. I came in late, and y'all was in the middle of reading that. And as soon as y'all read it, I mean, the first time you read it, I already understood that she was speaking from a Greek perspective. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly,
She was,
exactly, Corey.
yeah,
Right. She was explaining how the Greeks viewed people
saw the
in their
people.
world.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, yeah,
Unc
yeah,
tried to act
yeah.
like it was that this was Mary Lethbridge. She was saying nowadays, right? She was
Mm-hmm.
saying that nowadays these people, right, Egyptians would have been considered a people of color. But hold on,
Yeah,
I
just like
thought
Mexicans.
right. I think everybody that's not European, right, is considered a people of color.
The
So
majority of the world
a
is considered
majority of the
people.
world. So
Yeah.
like and then he argued so hard, like yo, come on, yo, you think so very little about intellect, right? Where you
Right.
would try to force us in some way to, you know, run away from the position that, yeah, we never said that North Africans and Egyptians was white. Of course they would be considered people of
I
color.
figured it out though, Shepard. I figured it out. The thing is, they be used to arguing with people with such wild positions. You know what I'm saying? But and they have. Oh wow, that was beautiful. Yeah, but and so they when they argue with you, and I'm just gonna say Unc does a lot of this. You know what I mean? Um, most people that they argue with have some type of investment in the position that they got, like like some type of moral investment, or like a religion or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or Egypt, and they think Egyptians is they ancestors and shit like that. Like they be used to arguing, and we like people like me and you ain't invested in none of it. So however the data lays is the way we gonna go.
That's where we
You,
going.
you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not, we don't have any, we never have anything invested. So it's difficult to argue against our position, because most of the time we arguing from the position of we just saying what the experts say.
Mm, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Oh yeah,
fact.
that'll be.
Reggie, where you at? Reggie, you had a lot of lip last night.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of lip last night,
I
brother
got an
man.
extra ticket to the Notre Dame game, Chef. You want to go? Come on,
Notre.
fly out. Come on, fly out to South Bend. I'll take you down to the Notre Dame game. Good seats, man.
Notre Dame. Y'all
Good,
doing
great seats, man. It'll be a historical moment for
Who
you.
they
You know
playing?
what I mean? Huh?
Who they playing?
UNLV.
Oh man.
I got great tickets. I'm gonna have some good tickets
Yeah,
now.
you built that motherfucker. Yeah, built that motherfucker. So
No, my daughter, she be getting tickets, man. She homies with the coach and shit.
all right, good guy said you be saying things that the data doesn't give you. All right. Well, I don't know. I like I said, and I talked to Unc about this earlier, about him forcing arguments on people. You know,
Yeah, it's a fallacy. It's the straw man fallacy.
mhm.
But like I said, it's not. It's I don't think he. Sometimes I don't even think he do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think he just used to arguing with people that has investment in their argument.
Right.
Even with when you have like Bro Sanchez and shit, like he invested in the flat Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his whole life is flat Earth. Without flat Earth, no one would know who Sanchez. So, you know, it's those type of people who the conscious community, who they always have debates with. They don't have debates with niggas like us. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just read something and read it for what it is. You know, I don't have no feelings behind, you know, what it says. You know, like the whole Mediterranean thing. Like they fought me tooth and nail on that because of the investment they have in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like if they gave in to that, if people understood that the Egyptians was just one of the Mediterranean cultures, right? It kind of somehow takes them away. It takes black people away from Egypt somehow. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And that's why they fought against it, because that's the staple of when you so-called get conscious in the black community, right? The Egypt is the staple of black achievement. You see what I'm saying, in the black community. So, you know, they get wrapped up in that, and it's like I said, and Mary Lethowitz, and when you if you read that introduction again, like she explains it a lot better than I do. She can articulate it a lot better, you know. But you know, the whole mythological history that she talks about, it's still running rampant. It's still prevalent in this community. You know what I'm saying? And what year was this book that she wrote? What year was that?
I think it was like
In the
97.
1960s,
No,
1960s, 1969, something
I
like
think
that.
she wrote this
71.
around 97.
Oh, 97.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, that's still long enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a long time, you know, to you're talking 30 down there 30 years, you know what I mean? And it's still going on to this day, you know, like some of the people that we had on the panel last night, like, see, and that's what I be telling Unc, when they do that shit, it continues that that handicapping of the black community. You know what I'm saying? It continues. It's basically snake oil. You know what I'm saying? Like you still coming to the disadvantaged community selling snake oil when you allow that kind of shit. Because last night I was trying to get Unc to see where I was at, you know, where, you know, some of the things that Reggie was saying, and they think they in the car with Unc. You see what I'm saying? And I just be having to let Unc know, like, yo, bro, you got a lot of mess to clean up. You know what I'm saying? But let me check my pizza. I got my pizza in the oven. Hold
All
on.
right, check your pizza. Airplane James, what's up, bro?
And much respect, man. Respect due you and Corey and the whole panel and the audience out there. You know, I ain't got no beef, man. You know, I ain't messing with Corey no more. The way he came off last night, might chop somebody's head off, man. He might want to go dollar for dollar or something. Next thing you know, his whole family might be indentured to me. So, you know, I'm a college graduate and I ain't gonna hold back on how I do. I know you see people, you see neighbors who are college graduates around your neighborhood. You see how well they're doing, but to go ahead and come off, you don't know no college graduate that's doing better than you. You
No,
in a world
I'm
by
saying
yourself.
me personally. Me personally,
All right,
like
all right,
I
all
don't
right.
know
You
you
don't
personally,
you don't
James,
know me
but
personally like that. All right. Now, I mean, I'm not
right,
saying nothing though. I'm not saying
yeah.
nothing.
So that don't mean that it's not college people that's doing bad. I'm sure it is. You know what? As a matter of fact, I take that back. I'm wrong. Brendan is a college graduate, and I'm almost positive he probably make more money than me.
My thing is more power. You and Chef, man. I put Chef through. I put stuff in the chat. I put Chef through the ringer. He never lost his cool. You neither. You so much props, man. Because you're two brothers in this world holding your own, and ain't nothing could go wrong with that. So I'm with you.
No, because we do what we say, right? So we we just here to guide y'all about the information right, we bring the experts. You know what I'm saying? So we don't be the ones who having these opinions. It's never, we don't never, like, we have opinions, but when it's our opinion, we're gonna let you know it's our opinion. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole topic, right? It's about some opinion dealing with this Mediterranean. I listen to Ngozi. I hear the shots he takes at sub-Saharan Africa. I hear the shots he take at Big Lips and all of this, right? But nobody don't say nothing because he think he I'm a zig. I wanted to come on, but I was otherwise occupied, man. But one of these good days, I got to front him on that.
No, I don't know. I wasn't on the panel about that. I don't know whether he taking shots. It don't sound. I don't. It don't seem like Ngozi would do that. But if you say so,
Oh, that's
Iron
cool.
Chef.
I never took it as that. Wow. I never took. You say he taking shots at sub-Saharan Africans. What did you hear that I didn't hear? I'm usually good at
When
picking
he
up on.
talks about, any of the phenotype that may have some straight nose, and curly hair, whatever, and it's okay. But then he talks about, the big lips and whatever other traits that he wants to identify, and then he says, that's not all of Africa, and it's a pushback. And then he has some personal thing against Patrice Lumumba. I heard him myself, and I want to know what it is.
Mm. You said he got
Can
something
I can
personal
I cut?
against.
Can I interrupt you, Chef? Chefrin, can I interrupt you?
Oh, go
Please.
ahead. What's up,
Allow me
Steve?
to interrupt you. Last night you had no patience. I don't matter to you for your behavior, but you had no patience. All of us knew that this was going down the Mediterranean road, and you didn't give the man enough rope to hang himself. We knew that. We knew that from Reggie came on with it, and then on came to second it. We knew that the journey was down to the Mediterranean. It was coming. You knew it too, but your frustration got the best of you.
I did.
I have to reprimand you for that frustration.
I
You should have left him and let
Hey
him go
yo,
down that
is it an
road.
echo? Am I tripping?
No, he
I don't
probably
hear
on the
it.
speaker. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't hear echo, but I don't know. It may be an echo.
Go ahead, Steve. Oh, he jumped off. Oh, he coming back in. Let him back in, Vance.
So yeah, but the thing is, like, they keep doing the same thing over and over, and this is what I be telling you, Vance. Like last night, he ended up
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
"Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you on the whole Mediterranean thing. I agree with you." It's like, man, you got to stop that. At some point in time, right?
Right.
It's got to end like that. It's got to end,
No.
And then the fighting against me and Shepard, it's like, why? You want? I don't understand. Like, he wanted to
No,
be
but
on Reggie's team. Go ahead, though.
yeah, but Sheffrin, let me finish what I was saying. Let me finish what you knew it was going down there, but you just couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. You was just riled up. Let the man go down the anti-Mediterranean. Let Reggie go all the way back to 150,000 years to when man first left Africa to come back and say Egypt is not Mediterranean. That's what it was leading to, And I was waiting on it, and you couldn't let the man admit to that. You're wrong, Sheffrin. You're wrong. Concrete, wasn't you wrong?
I wasn't on the whole time, so that part I might have missed. I might have missed that part.
Yeah.
I came in on the end.
When Uncle hit the Wikipedia and saying that that's not Greek society, those people are not Greek. So
Oh
new people
yeah.
to
When he hit
Greece.
that, yeah, I was there then. Yeah.
New people came in to Greece. That's what he's saying. The people in Greece, new people came in and
Yeah,
took over.
It's the Great Migration theory, or what's the other theory? The colonization theory, or something, whatever, the takeover theory.
But Sheffrin couldn't wait. Sheffrin just couldn't wait. What you have to say for yourself, Sheffrin?
No, because it definitely gets frustrating. Um, it gets frustrating because, like I said, he forces arguments on you, and he switch whole conversations to things that he just want to talk about. Right?
Right.
If we was talking about Mary Lethbridge and her book, and the beef between her and Martin Bernal, and you take it back to whether the Egyptians were black or not, like, come on, bro. Like, yo, give it a rest.
You should read the slide below what Reggie came in to question the complexion of the Greek. Reggie was saying that how the Greek describe themselves. When Reggie said it, I said, what Reggie going with now? But
Man.
cut him off before he could make his point. He was almost saying that the Greek weren't white.
I heard Unc say that before, so I mean, it's not.
So the Greeks were Egyptians.
No, he said that they wasn't white, so I mean, man, these guys say so. But this is what Mary Lethbridge was addressing in this book. All of these wild cockamamie Afrocentric points, like, just all over the place, just fucking up history. You know what I mean?
What were the Greeks? We need to come. What were the Greek? We need a definite answer on that.
They were Europeans.
Were the Greek?
They was Mediterranean.
They are
They was
who they are
Mediterranean.
now. Right?
They're the same people they is. The people who there now, they've been there. They're the same Mediterranean niggas.
They speak an Indo-European language, right? They have all of the phenotypes of all other Europeans, damn near. Like, so I mean, what do we?
They got to me, they got a phenotype like a Mediterranean nigga, like a nigga that live in
Turkey, Greece,
that live in Greece. Could go right to the goddamn Sinai Peninsula and fit right in. No, if everybody was butt naked on the planet, let's say nobody wore clothes, right? Everybody was butt asshole naked, right? The nigga that live in Greece, he can go right over to the Sinai Peninsula and sit down and eat dinner and won't nobody look twice at his ass. Period. And the same for the nigga across the water at Iraq. And the nigga that's over here in Libya, and the other motherfucker that's goddamn it, the goddamn other motherfucker, the Persians and the Turks and all them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They all look alike. Period.
I'm not saying that they look like the Scandinavians or the Germans, you know. Nobody here saying that they look like the Scandinavians or the Germans.
No, they don't look like Scandinavians. Greeks don't look like Scandinavians.
No,
Nope.
Scandinavians are what you call Nordic.
Nordic. Yeah, right. They Nordic, yeah.
Right.
That's the extreme of European
Caucasianness.
phenotype. Right?
Yeah, but they would just like the Egyptians would have phenotypical similarities to some of the Africans, right? The Greeks will have phenotypically similarities to some of the Euro those type of people, the Caucasian motherfuckers.
By proximity.
I had all play on sound right.
Careful, concrete. Reggie will come on for that. Reggie will come on the reprimand for saying what you just said. Reggie's going
to I don't even know if Reggie is all the way there. I don't because it's hard to have a conversation with him because they be and Aunt be doing the same shit, like they be all over the place. It's like, bro, and here again, it always comes up. The prophet Shepherd. You cannot have a conversation with a pseudo. If you pseudo, you're not. The conversation ain't gonna be coherent. You're gonna end up arguing. because a person is trying to get a point across that's not even coherent, and then they want you to walk down. See, pseudos have a path they need you to walk down in order for them to have a point. If you refuse to walk down that path, which is really the rabbit hole, right? If you refuse to go down the rabbit hole with them, then it becomes an argument. You know what I'm saying? And then once you go down the rabbit hole, now you done forgot what the whole point, what the original point is, because you're in a rabbit hole now. You know what I'm
Corey, in the last
saying?
4 years, how many books have you read?
In the last 4 years, I probably, I don't
How many
know,
books have you read?
between 10 and 15, I'd say.
10,
I mean, I'm
15
not
books?
the super duper reader. Like most books ain't that interesting to me. I only read what's interesting to me. So,
Jeffrey, in the last 4 years, how much books have you read?
Probably none.
In the last 4 years, you have not read any of the Massey Clan Warriors book? No book in the last 4
no,
years?
I ain't read nothing like
Nope.
that.
Shaka,
why-
what's up, Shaka?
that's
Welcome
why
to the Pseudo Killers.
He's going to step in your throat. Because he's going to say that in the last 4 years, you've read hundreds of books. So
Yeah,
you
I don't
niggas
read
don't know what you're
100.
talking about. He's going to
If
use
it's
that
not
argument.
interesting.
Hold on, what's up, Shaka and Dugu Kemet? Maya, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Greetings to all.
What's the deal?
My forever. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know DQ was on here. What up, DQ? DQ, that's my guy right there, man. What's going on, Shaka? You had something to say? My bad. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, it's all good. I'm really listening. I was wondering if Thunder was there because I was a bit surprised at him defending plagiarizers and pseudo people who teach that Allah is an indigenous African god. And I remember when he was answering saying, just because, and that's one of their main talking points, like, we've heard, just because someone is an expert doesn't mean it's right. Just because something is in a dictionary doesn't mean it's right. And now we were hit with just because somebody makes a mistake and, 10 years of sharing misinformation, that's not a mistake. But, if it's not there, I don't really have.
Yeah, and I want to address. Let me, because you brought up a great point, and I want to address that because this gets brought up a lot. You said the experts, right? And I'm not. This is not towards you. You just brought it up, and it reminded me. So I just want to thank you for reminding me. But the experts, right? When you look at an expert, see what an expert is, right? That don't mean because he's an expert. You absolutely right. It don't mean he's right. That's not what makes him an expert because he's right. What makes a person an expert is that they can explain things in a coherent way, right? Not only can they explain it, but they understand it. That's what they understand the data, not who's right or wrong, right? They explain the data. They're experts at understanding the data, understanding it, understanding how it was obtained, all of that, everything, every aspect about the data and explaining the data. It's not them that's right or wrong. So we have to get we have to stop it when we stop that bullshit. But go ahead.
Concrete Corey off. Concrete Corey is starting controversy. Those sublime shots that he just took. He took about 4 of them in straight. Concrete Corey, stop it. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
You just brought that up, and I wanted to say that because it's a lot of people.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You took some subliminal shots a while ago. You're not being nice. Be nice.
No, it wasn't that shocking though, right? I'm taking some shots. Believe me, if I'm talking, usually it's some shots being thrown, usually, right? So I ain't mad at you for pointing that out, but yeah, so we got to stop it with the thing with, you can't listen to the expert because one expert say something. that did that automatically make them right because they are expert and this, that, and the other. No, it's not. We don't look at experts for right or wrong. We look at experts to be the ones to explain the data, not to be right or wrong. Experts ain't right or wrong. So we need to stop that. And when people say that, right, that's how I know they pseudo. That's how I know they don't really understand science for real, because they use experts and right or wrong in the same sentence. It's crazy. It's ridiculous to me. And the funny part about it is I be the only one saying this shit. And then it's like, oh, I can't believe he said that. That was crazy for him to say. And then next week, everybody will be agreeing with that. I'm about sick of it. I'm about sick of it, right?
Asar and them got the whole conscious community in a headlock right now. But I feel like the whole conscious community is at fault. And the fact that everybody is not standing up to them, like, it's kind of disheartening, right? Because it was a standard that the Amun-Ra squad had, put forth, right? And it's like y'all allowing these two guys, right, to assert the standard, right? The same standard that's required of everybody. Now, when I started watching everybody, the Amun-Ra squad was going against people like the Hebrew Israelites, the Moors, and those different type of religious organizations that was entrenched in a doctrine, right? And they would always go to the experts, right? They would always go to the verified information to qualify their position. And is now two of the Amun-Ra squad members are saying that they are going off of the track, right? Now, not only are they questioning the consensus, they are actually overturning it, right? The same sources that they use to prove their points, right, are now the sources that they are critiquing themselves. And nobody else is standing up saying, hey, bro, that's wrong. But
that's pseudo 101, Sheffrin. You know how many creationists use Richard Dawkins' book? You know how many creationists misquote Charles Darwin? That's pseudo 101. They'll go into a Lawrence Krauss book, and then they'll try to prove God using Lawrence Krauss's A Universe from Nothing. They'll do that, and knowing that this man is actually not only is he an atheist, but he's a anti-theist, right? He's aggressive with his atheism, right? But they actually go and what you just explained is exactly what religious people do. Those are creationists, religious apologists, and things like that, right? And what people in cults do. And everybody can be mad. Everybody can say, "Oh my God, he said that," right? But I'm sorry. I can only tell the truth. I can only tell the truth. They go in and they get the sources. This is what Asar and them doing. They using the dictionaries. And they using all of the tools that's there that actually disagree, that actually how they came to the consensus, right? But they're overturning the consensus, like Sheffrin said, with the data that the consensus used.
But the question is
now
this,
in
right?
science, listen, hold on 10 more seconds. In science, if you're going to overturn something, you have to not only explain everything that other theory explained, right? But you have to bring new information.
No, but I wouldn't say they're overturning. The word that I would use is that they're usurping. They don't want to destroy it, but they want the throne. And listen, after 10 years, when does the
No, if they said
grasshopper
it's
become the
wrong,
master?
that's overturning it. If it's wrong, it's overturned. You got to overturn it.
Okay. When does the grasshopper become the master? They have been studying for 10 years now. If they was in school, they would have several PhDs. So they say that I am now an expert.
They'd have an MBA.
I have reviewed the information and I am now an expert. Good job is that because the community refer to them as experts. It's your fault. Reggie's an expert. You know that concrete
They
core.
call him
According to the
Dr.
community,
Reggie. They
That's the
Dr.
uphill battle that
Reggie.
we got to fight. That's the uphill battle that we got to fight.
right?
You're
Reggie
absolutely
is an
right.
expert
Mm-hmm.
because
Dr. Reggie.
years,
And
right?
look, Unc told me
Asa is an
one time.
expert.
Hold on. Unc told me
Wuja
one
was an
time.
expert.
He say, I'll put Wuja up against any Egyptologist. And I said, really?
Yeah,
bro?
he said that one time. Yeah, I witnessed that actually, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
I'm like, really? So, see, you help create these monsters.
Yep.
You help. We arguing with this dude, and Unc literally on Wuja's side, literally, because we like, yo, well, I'm like, well, the Egyptologist is not saying what Wuja is saying, Unc. And Unc, I'll put Wuja up against any Egyptologist. I said, well, like, I don't even know what to say at this point.
Well, he said
Hold on.
he said Wuja gets the information before the people at the Oriental Institute get the information.
Garfield
I
2
fell
years
out
ago.
laughing. I fell out like
Garfield 2 years ago presented like for Black History Month. He had like experts come on the panel, and when experts come on the panel and explain where they stand, it was clear, it was concise, it was easy to understand. I have never heard Wujawa explain something clear, concise, and easy to understand.
it never is. It never is.
Or Asa. That's why I said earlier that you're throwing shots, and everybody know who you're throwing
And
shots at.
and that's and Lawrence Krauss, one of my favorite astrophysicists, right? He says when you explain something, right, the least amount of words that you can use is the best way to explain it. When you start using more words than you need to use, now you're confusing people. So when you're teaching somebody, use the least amount of words that you can, and try to make them not syllabistic. You see what I'm saying? And it's always simply the answer usually in reality is the simplest answer every time. And I'm saying usually this is how reality works. It's always gonna be the simplest answer. So when these niggas start saying things like, well, you can't comprehend, and you just don't understand, and you can't read, and boop, boop, boop. They're throwing boomerang daggers because they coming back and hitting them because y'all niggas call yourselves experts and teachers, right? But yet no one can understand a fucking thing you niggas are saying. No one can articulate it, right? No one, you can't explain it to a random person off the streets and then that random person articulate that back to me. They wouldn't know what the hell they talking about. This is how you know what they're doing is they're trying to sell you a big bottle of snake oil.
Concrete?
Rabon, what's up, Rabon?
Levels and Reggie list. Reggie coming for you.
Come on, Reggie.
Concrete.
I ain't got no college education, and I can't
Reggie
read as good as you. So you
Reggie
got one up on me, Reggie. I can't read as good as you, and I don't got a college education. So you already 2 points up. Come on, Reggie, what's your shit?
What's up, Rob Bourne? Welcome to the show. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? I just called on late. I see y'all talking about the X. Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I listen, man. we people been going at these individuals. I've been going at. Y'all wasn't around probably, but I was.
No, I see
And
you go
is
ahead and saw every chance you get. I see it.
not every chance. It's not that. It just be like on certain topics, right? So like, I'm gonna show y'all something just so y'all get a chance. Y'all grab this, and I want y'all to go look at this, bro. And y'all grab this, and you're gonna see the date of this video, and you're gonna be shocked at what you see. It's kind of crazy. So this was a debate that I had with Unc, Jawo, Asar, and who else was it? The girl that was down. Forgot her name. But
Sister Naya.
yeah, Sister Naya was here this day. And I'm just gonna put it right here, and then we'll get to it. All right, this video right here. Oops, wrong video. Where is it at? It's right here. This is the name of the video. I'm not going to play it, but you get to look at it. It's called New World Black World Order TV. I'm in Rob Squad. The debate was myth versus science. You see the year, how long ago this was? This is 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during this discussion, even though this is different that we're having, go ahead. What you said?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, even though it's a different discussion, we was talking about what has been a change in the guard. I was presenting information from the experts, and I said, hold on. I just want to know, do I need to throw all these books away? Let me show you what I'm using right now, because I can't use any of these because you niggas got the truth. This shit I'm using, I can't use it no more. That's what y'all saying, right? Y'all the true experts in these. No, we're not saying that. But anyway, when you look at it a little longer, I was talking about creation stories. Yeah, I had a whole thing on the dog end and all this. You're gonna be shocked. Just go watch the video. And then I'm saying, like, yo, there are principles in these creation stories, according to the experts, who basically translated these things, and it is similar to certain aspects of science. All right. So now, let's go right here, over there. All right. So now, you fast forward 5 years later, they told me, no. That's not true, Rob Bourne. That's not science. That's not science. That's not science. And then you pull up the Mbungi on me, and I'm like, bro, that's the Big Bang right there. And no, Rob Bourne, that's not the Big Bang. Now you fast forward 6 years later, now you saying everything Rob Bourne was saying. I don't understand this stuff. It's very weird. It's very weird. So whenever the experts and the said subject is brought up, and if it doesn't go along with the agenda of the day, you don't, Rob Bourne, you need to know the language. Do you know what this whatever they come up with? Anything to throw you off of the top.
You gotta go do 10 years worth of anthropology.
Yeah, son, this shit is hilarious. Yo, if you watch that video, son, the shit that they saying now that y'all was arguing with them about, going back and forth about the Big Bang, them niggas on there telling me, Rob Bourne, that's crazy. Nah, the translations ain't right. And now 6 years later, them niggas saying that shit and y'all arguing with them about it.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It'd
So,
be the
like,
Twilight Zone.
this shit is crazy. It's like a circle, man. But I don't know, bro. I think that, people should teach what they want to teach, add on and build.
No, that's not. No, we're not.
Now what I'm saying is, it gotta be a move forward person. It gotta be a forward button somewhere, bro. It gotta be a forward button.
It's not a forward button. Because the thing is, Rob Bourne, let me say this, Rob Bourne. And this is gonna be, again, I say shit, Rob Bourne, but I'm sorry, I just gotta say it. The thing is, there's no moving forward in the conscious community. You're always gonna be it's a futile effort. The conscious community is a futile effort. It's steeped in futility because it's based, the premise, the foundation, the basis of it is false. Period. Point blank.
I think it's a forward button, and the reason why, because if we look at what the conscious community is, I'm not going to go through no history lesson, but it starts with educating the people on Africa, educating the people on where we came from, educating the people and building institutions. And it starts in libraries. It starts with debate leagues. It starts in the 1830s, all the way to now. So what we perceive in 2021 or two as the conscious community is the circles that we in that's just dealing with YouTube. However, when you're looking at the origin and the inception of such of people building institutions, you know, the expert niggas, the ones that niggas don't like, you know what I mean? The expert niggas, you know, the niggas that's doing the African burial ground and all the DNA shit and all of that. Them niggas, those are black people doing that. That's the conscious, that's what that represented. The creating of institutions to carry on the legacy. Now, this is a part of it because there always was the pseudo element, bro. There was never a time that there wasn't a part where you had people with magical religion scamming niggas. Before there was a Dr. Sebe, nigga, you had all these weird niggas. They got the cure for the disease of the day. Just buy my miracle oil. Come see my great magic trick. You know what I'm saying? All that wild shit. But it's a part of it. I agree, but I wouldn't say all of it. I say fast forward some of it because it's like a circle.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's a part of it. But what I'm saying though, Rob Warren, is that part ran rampant and it's drowned out the part that you're talking about.
Yo, I 100%
they ran that over.
With you. I 100% agree with you. You can look at any new Hebrew who makes a movement. They'll have 700 people in the chat, 1,000 people in the chat, and all you doing is reading the Bible, man. You trying to put a black shit to it, face to it, but you just reading the Bible. You can't change the Bible, but the Bible is the Bible. And this is what the people want, bro. They want that shit.
They do. They do. And it's crazy because even on Garfield channel, right? And I love my man Garfield. He part of the reason why the pseudo killers got together, right? But you know, Garfield be having like 300 people when he go live. Like he got 300 people consistently, and they talking about the Bible, and it's not even in a Hebrew Israelite type way. Like he actually like talked about real biblical history, but people love the Bible no matter what. They want to be connected to that Bible somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Tricks yesterday, man. Posing as telekinesis. Was I wrong? I saw man.
The fuck?
I don't know what that was. That wasn't
I'm talking about another channel. I saw magic trick. It was telekinesis. An experiment in telekinesis yesterday. It was amazing.
I'm sure.
Yo, man, it is what it is. So y'all was talking about Black Athena today?
Yeah.
Let me ask a question right quick, if that's okay.
Magic Mike, what up, man? You snuck on the panel. What's going on?
Yeah,
bro?
what's going on? I'm good, man. I was going to talk about something different, but Brother Rob Bourne brought up something, and I'm going to ask a question here. So, what if you stripped away the craziness from the conscious community? What would be the positive attributes that remained if we could go back to that? So I think right now, as you mentioned, we're kind of drowned in the craziness of it. But if we strip that away, what would be the positive that we would want to continue to hold on to?
Look at the organizations that's doing stuff now. Like, let's just say the First Georgia, what is it? The First Georgia Initiative. I'll put that on the screen. That's just one example. I'm not going no further than that. Just looking at the people who are conscious of who they are, where they're from, and the work that needs to be done, and they're doing it. We just don't talk about a lot of it. I'm saying that's just not it. Instead of focusing on that part. But this all comes from my trajectory of having what happened to us and not knowing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna put this on the screen so you can see it. I would say this, and then pointing out, like there's a sister in I think there's Jackson, Mississippi. She's creating a Silicon Valley over there, bro. Black tech. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm president. I mean, that's crazy. Let me put it up here. First Georgia Initiative. I think it's First Georgia Initiative. So these are these 19 black families that bought, or they got like a certain amount of land. But here it go right here. I'll put it right here. This is it right here. So this is going on right now. We ain't got to go in the past. I ain't got to take you to the damn. All right. So this is it right here. Let me share the screen. So when you say that, I would say just you're not gonna get we can't defeat the pseudos, bro. Sorry. No matter how much you try to defeat them, they come back and they come back with more pseudo and more pseudo. But here we go right here. This is the first Georgia initiative using the past to build the future. You see them. Click here to support the mission. You can see the economic empowerment, building our own communities. This is what they doing over there. They doing this right now.
Do
You know
you
what I'm
think
saying?
they would describe themselves as conscious or being a part of the conscious community, or you think they're just doing the best they can to impact their community in a positive way?
I would say if you ask them that, they're gonna ask you what they mean by conscious. So if they dealing with reparations, right? You see that the reparations project. You got Black Wall Street, Georgia, right? Liberated minds, Black homeschool or education, and all this other stuff. They doing some shit over there, man. This shit I like it. Damn, they added more. I ain't even seen none of this. Oh, this is new stuff they added on here. Okay, that's dope. But
Yeah,
I
I like
I
that.
can't speak
That's
for
good
them. I
shit
can't
right there.
I can't I can't speak for them. I would be a fool to say that.
You know the majority of black people are doing those types of things. The overwhelming majority of black people, they do those types of things, right?
Yeah, and my contention would be that they probably are. Well, I don't know about them, but I don't know if we necessarily can call ourselves a part of the conscious community or quote unquote conscious when we do those things, or that we need to or have to.
Nah, yeah, I
So,
don't. I don't think. I don't think it's a necessary. I think we should separate. I think
yeah,
this should be some. I think it should be some separations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the separation is already there. So like
Yeah, yeah.
these people that's doing this stuff, right? They know about the black. That's like you, right? Or any black person. I'm not gonna say any, but majority of black people, you're gonna look at stuff that deal with black people. So if you're looking on the internet, you're gonna see one of these videos cross your screen. You're gonna hear about Sarnetta somewhere. They know about this guy. They're gonna know about certain things, and then when they come around, like you see them, actors, all of that. Yo, I watched your channel before. We don't know what video they saw. It could have just been one video, but we're gonna always look at things that's dealing with black people. But are they gonna spend time like constantly? Let's listen to astral projection. Let's talk about crystals. Them people Christians, bro. So do I say that they not conscious because they Christian and they doing this work here? So now I think that term needs to be, well, you're right though. But I think it is a separation already though. I think it is done by itself. The people who want to talk
right.
about these things and do pseudoisms, they separated from that. They
Yeah,
scam gods, bro. Let's just call it what it
Yeah, that's
is.
what I was gonna say because it's a grift, and you can't really do a grift, with honest people around,
right. Yeah,
honest,
reason I
knowledgeable people.
yeah. Reason I checked on, I got a chance to check out this book here, Not Out of Africa. I hadn't read the whole thing, obviously, but I kind of skimmed it. And my whole contention and my argument has been, even if these claims were true of Black people in the past, being kind of the fourth founders, or the ones that really started all these great things throughout history, if they were true, it doesn't necessarily mean anything for us today because we're not really owning and controlling and impacting and influencing those areas or the people or what's happening in those areas now. I made this argument a few months ago on the channel, and to me, it just means that either you lost whatever you had, or it was taken from you, you mismanaged it, or whatever happened. But we're just not in control of whatever we're claiming that we had control over thousands of years ago. We're almost an afterthought in those areas. So even if it were true, the claims of Afrocentrism, it just means that you lost
And that's what
somehow.
I be saying. That's what I be saying, Magic Mike. That's what I mean and I know some people heard me say this and maybe didn't sound right. They didn't understand what I meant, right? But that's what I mean when I say Africa. When people say the word Africa to me, it means to me what they saying is birthday cake. Africa is birthday cake to me in the conscious community. And you know what you do with a birthday cake, Magic Mike? You put a candle on it and you make a wish. Right? And so that's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. The whole conscious community thing is a birthday cake. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like what you said, like they had Black Wall Street and they did this and they did that, and fine, you want to know some history, right? And that's all good. But the thing is, we don't control the banking industry right now. So what that's doing to me with and somebody might say, well, why can't we know about it? Why can't we talk about that? Why ain't that important? Whoop-de-whoop. Because to me, what that does is it don't have you looking forward.
Right.
It have you looking backwards. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need to know how to get back into the banking industry. You see what I'm saying? Not celebrate something that was. You know what I'm saying? That, like, it's fine, and we can do that. But
Right. But what if, like, when we have the propaganda machine, which is media and everything that goes on around, people, all Black people don't see that. So yeah, there are Black links that exist today, right now. These things are here now. We just, again, we don't talk about those institutions. So the reason to talk about it is because the European makes it intentional, because he recognizes that there's some power in you knowing what the hell you did while you were free before 1861 and the institutions that you created. We don't want to put this in your school books. We don't want to put that in there. But we will make sure that every child that goes to school, you will know our history. You will know about George Washington. Why talk about him? Why we need to know about George Washington? Why we need to know about their great things? So I guess the reason for knowing that is to see yourself doing such a thing in a certain time, and that could possibly inspire someone to move forward. Because that's how most of us, I'm saying general now, got knowledge of self. Because you like, I didn't know this about her. We was doing what? We created what? Word? Damn. They did. Wow, that's me. Okay. You know what? Let me try a little. Let me change what I'm doing. So when we look at it now, bro, like when you look at youth and you look at the things, just look at it. Just look at Black media and you look at what the people are saying. Everybody hate Africa is a bad word. They don't want to identify with that. Anything else except that shit. Anything but that. No one knows what happened really during the slave trade or anything. You have people today who say that they're going to a job. That means you went to school or you didn't go to school or you got a trade and you have a profession, but you have the audacity to tell so, yo, man, I got to get off now. I got to go to the plantation. You got to go to the plantation. What the fuck do you know what the plantation was? Do you actually really know that? If you knew that and knew what happened to us, then you wouldn't say that you're going to a plantation, bro, because you got to work to feed your family. That's crazy. The white man works. All of them are not the superpower people. They not all the people in power. They got to work too. So I guess they on the plantation too. I don't understand it, but I think that is necessary because if I look at whatever the European does, and he has a reason for doing it, let me keep this up out of there. I think it has some type of power, but I can get with you because it happened to me. You could go into some kind of time warp, and you kind of be stuck in the past, and all you doing is looking at ancient Egypt, ancient Canaanite, ancient this, ancient that, but you ain't even looking at the shit that you need to do how to move forward right now.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. And
So
that's what
I
I
could
mean.
agree with that because that shit right there can happen, bro. Because it's like a whole new world open up to you. It's like You really being born again, son. Like you like, holy shit. And you just keep going back and back and back. And then you know what I'm saying? My back, I ain't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the ancient history. As far as, us learning about Black Wall Street and things have happened in America over the last couple hundred years, I'm fine with that reflecting. But the idea that we're going to go back and claim something 3, 4, 5,000 years ago that happened in, I guess, Northeast Africa, when we're not there in those areas now, or the Levant or Israel, wherever you want to call it, I just think that that's, meaningless and fruitless for us today.
Yo, somebody put it in the chat. So what you think, Corey, that this shit is like a form of escapism?
Yep.
What do you think? Mic check. Y'all left? Oh shit. Damn, my shit must have went out.
I hear you, Rock.
No, we can't hear you.
Oh, do y'all think it's escapism? Like that this whatever you could say consciously that it provides a form of escape from reality by staying stuck in the pseudo realm or in the past.
Raise a good point there because oh yeah, when you get stuck somewhere, because a lot of people are coming out of Christianity, and when they get an epiphany, like the conscious community, sometimes they get stuck. And in all learning curves, there's something called a plateau, and a lot of people get stuck in that plateau. And so some people, rise above that and continue on with the learning process, but some people get stuck, and we gotta.
I agree with you. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I got stuck before, man. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Yeah. And that shit, I think that happens a lot. But I don't know, man. And then the smart ones find a way of how to monetize it. And they know they telling bullshit. They know they lying, but they gotta keep up the lie. They gotta scam. They gotta be a scam god.
You mean like the people
Hey,
teach about
but
Yakub?
oh, my bad. Go ahead.
What's up, Rabon?
Yeah, what you said? What up? What you said?
Yeah, you're talking about people monetizing. You mean the people who teach about Yakub and get millions of dollars?
The Yakub and millions of dollars?
Yeah, you said the smart ones know how to monetize it. So I was just wondering if you're talking about people who teach about Yakub, the big head scientists, and get
Oh,
millions
big
of
head
dollars.
scientists. I mean, that's a rough one. That goes to I'll put that under any new religion or any religion, period. I'll put that in there with that. Now, the issue is now, I propose that since 1975, we haven't had a group that brought forth the economic black nationalism that they produced. We haven't seen it since. Why does it have to be around a religion or a myth or some magical figure? I don't know. I don't know why. But when I look at the work, I erase the Yaku. We're talking about people who had a plain industry. You're talking about people who said, we're going to do this on our own. No government funds, none. So by 1974, you are transporting food from Central America over here. You are meeting with heads of states that are in a non-aligned West, regardless of whatever religion they have. You are creating farms. You're creating your own meat. You have supermarkets, not a mom and pop store, not a mom and start. No, you have a lamb factory. You have international truck factories. And then you are giving people percentage who are even not a part of it a chance to make money with it. So when I look at that, the big head scientist niggas, the Asiatic black man niggas, dumb niggas, that's what I look at. Now, is it true? Everybody heard me say this. No. Is there a literary history behind it that's before him? Yeah, but that's a different subject. I could go through that, but it is what it is. Now, the question is, did Elijah know that this was a lie? Because we got to keep it real here. That nation is Elijah Muhammad nation. And if you really look at the story of Malcolm X, or the second time that they talk about when he went to Africa, you notice they never talk about the first time he goes to Africa. He goes to Israel. He's in Saudi Arabia, but he doesn't make the Hajj. He was supposed to go to Mecca, but he got sick in Egypt. Not the second time, but the first time. So prior to this, in the 40s, Malcolm X's first literature, or where he wrote anything, is in a newspaper called the Muslim World. And this newspaper is in around the 1950s, 57, somewhere around that. This newspaper is not here. That newspaper is presented throughout the world. The Muslim people are coming from them countries and are working with directly with Elijah Muhammad, and they are telling this dude, bro, I don't know what this type of shit you talking this is, but you say Islam. I don't know what this is like, but if you down with getting rid of this white man, I'm with it. They
You know,
pushed that shit to the side. They knew the whole time, even to the point where Malcolm was basically he didn't even know how to do high. He didn't even excuse me. He didn't even know how to make salat, bro. This nigga mumbling words and shit. So he had to fucking prepare for Elijah Muhammad to come forward in that year to tell him everything he need to know. So that's telling you that your student is teaching a teacher who told you something about Islam, and you knew from the very essence when you got there that shit is not what this nigga told you. So now,
and you
are we
know,
gonna say that Malcolm X is a scam god? Are we gonna say that Elijah Muhammad is a scam god? I don't know. That's up to the people to say that. But they knew. They knew.
you know, Rob Bone, out of curiosity, by any chance, did you read that book? I forgot the name of the author, but the title is Inside the Nation of Islam.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, he's a guy. I think he rose to the rank of minister, and but the title once again is Inside the Nation of Islam, and he talks about the people who sell the final call. They have some goals, and it's so tight that they end up actually buying the papers themselves, and then they try to sell them so they can recoup the money. And he talks about the amount of money that they give every year for Census Day and different times. But you said something interesting about Malcolm. There's the other author. I think his surname is Clegg, Clegg.
Yeah, I
He
know
also
who
wrote a
that
book.
is.
Yeah, indeed, and he's a professor. And he mentioned at one point he actually went through the FBI files, so he's very familiar with the Nation of Islam. And he talked at one point about the fact that Malcolm indeed went a first time, because a lot of people, I agree, talk about the second time. And I don't know where it is written, but it is stated that Elijah Muhammad said that there's no white people in Mecca. And actually Malcolm went and said, "Oh, there's some white folks over there." But yeah, so yeah, I agree
Yeah,
with
that's in the lessons. I'm saying in the 114. So if you want to know where that's at, the 10th degree, why does Muhammad at every Muslim murder the devil? And basically, he basically says in his books that no white people are allowed in Mecca. Right. So once he goes there, he's gonna see these people. But he never got a chance to do his Hajj. I mean, because he got sick. He's supposed to go to Ethiopia, etc. But the point here is that there was a conference called the Afro Asian Conference, and these are the non-aligned people who are against the West and want to do things for indigenous people wherever they at. That was something that was going on at that time, which you will see that big Asian, Japanese, and all of these people are connected with all of their organizations. And he brought it here. So now when you look at what happens when Malcolm comes back that first time, it's no longer called the Temple of Islam. Them shit is called mosque now. I mean, they start doing things from that point because Malcolm pushed it. He pushed him to like, yo, we need to align. If you listen to all of his messages with what the rest of Africa or Black Africa is doing, and he's looking and he's seeing these Black Muslims in Africa. He sees what they're doing. He's talking to what's his name, Henry Clark every week, so he knows about Edward Blyden. He knows about that whole thingamajig. So he's looking at it as a way to push that. I'm saying that to push that to get aligned with the rest of Africa to deal with human rights and all that other stuff.
Yes, indeed. And uh, you know, you probably heard. Have you read the book The Messenger by what's his name? Carl Evans?
Yeah, Evans is a Yeah, he's a funny guy. Yeah.
What would you say that out of curiosity? Because like Dr. Wesley Muhammad called him a liar, but I didn't see where he lied. But why do you say he's a funny guy?
Well, there's when you get to major points, if you pick up that book and you get to like major points that are like groundbreaking, ain't no source there. I heard this from such and such, but there's no source there. So you have to look at the motive of Mr. Evans, and then you have to look at the beginning of that investigation into them, and then you'll see this individual there, and then that's where it all starts. So
Well,
but
from
when
my
you look
reading,
at it, you gotta go into it. So when you really get into it and look at the primaries are the newspapers, not their newspapers, but the newspapers of what the people were doing. So when you read what he says, he starts to talk about, oh, the Nation of Islam was very small until Malcolm came and da. You lying. Because when you read the newspapers from the origin with W.D. Farrar is going to tell you that they found out about them because of this ritual killing. This dude named Robert Harris sacrificed somebody and said he was sacrificing them to the God of Islam. So then
yeah, very
Master
familiar
Farrar
with that.
Muhammad, Master Farrar Muhammad and his person Ugan Ali go to jail. Then they put them in a psychiatric ward. Then they say they crazy and all this other shit. But they get to go see, like, wait a minute, where's all these kids at? Why they not going to school? This dude got a school already. And this school is they are telling you the books that they're taking out to school. They're like, yo, they got trigonometry books, calculus books. These people got these different names. This is why we couldn't find them. Yo, there's 8,000 members. And that's just in that city right there. And when you get to look at it, you can see that those numbers ain't what this dude is saying. That's what I mean by that. So when I read what he's saying, I'm like, nah, son, like you ain't the newspapers tell you what everything that's going on.
But hold on, did he give any figures? Like
Because I
you're
can't
sending?
remember off the top of my head. I gotta look
Yeah,
it up. But he
I understand.
basically
Yeah, I
you know
understand.
the whole concept of that is goes to who killed Malcolm. I'm saying
Well, maybe, but I think he did a great job on the history, and he will quote newspapers indeed. But we cannot forget the fact that he quoted a fair bit from the FBI files. It has plenty of footnotes. So for
yeah,
people to say
everybody
that
got
he
the
lied,
FBI files. So
yeah,
when you look at the FBI files, they're trying to figure stuff out. So at one point, originally they called them the Voodoo Code. They were never called the Voodoo Code ever. That's something that
yeah,
they
yeah,
put.
yeah.
They
But
didn't even know who these people were, bro.
yeah, I agree, but that's not him lying. If he's relying on some sources, and I
No,
think
that's
it's a strong,
cool. No. I'm
yeah.
saying it's cool. It's just that you gotta go behind that. Know what I'm saying? So even when you go behind the whole FBI file, they sit in it. They, look, right? When they first lock him up, when you look in the newspaper, what do they call him? They say he's Arabian. That's what they say. They say he's from Mecca. This is not the black people. This is them. And now when you look at that picture, a nation of Islam led by, now you're talking about 30 years later. How that's possible if you already knew, you already said what this person was. So then they go on their investigation, trying to find out who the dude is. Oh, he was born in New Zealand. They looking at his wife, Pearl Allen, and the other girl. And then they go meet the girl, and the girl is like, nah, that dude is dark skinned, bro. Or he's like a dusky, a dusky color. And they like, nah, that's not him. So they like, okay. And then later on down the line, at the end of it, they say, oh, he has to be from somewhere in the Middle East. He is not these people. He's not the person from Hawaii. He's not the person from Oregon. And all that other wild. They don't even fucking know to the certain point. But when he first comes on the scene, when them handcuffs is put on that man, and they got him up in there, this is what they say. But now when you read Carl Evans' book, he leaves all that other shit out. That right there is not in the book. He'll go talk about the other shit. I'm saying?
Well, you were talking indeed about the FBI investigating and trying to find out the identity of Muhammad, but the picture where he's near two officers, would you say that is Far Muhammad?
I don't have no other picture of him besides that first picture when he gets locked up. There's no other, I don't have nothing of him. I don't got nothing of it.
Mm.
So
So
whatever that
do you
picture
consider?
is, here's what I'm gonna say. He ain't no fucking African, bro. He ain't black. That's what I'm gonna tell you. He ain't African,
Okay,
bro.
okay. Would you say he's biracial?
I don't know. Listen, bro. All I can say is based off of the evidence. So now another way to look at this is to see what he taught. So when you look at what he taught and you study Islam in its entirety, you understand that there's 73 sects of Islam. The stuff that's in those lessons are not a part of the Sunni tradition or the Shiite tradition. But you can see in multiple different sects, such as the white man is the devil. You can see that in the Druze, and you see that in Shiaism. So it's something called 12 Shiaisms and gulats. So when you got the 24 imams, now you got the 24 sciences, right? And then you look at the Mahdi, who's going to be white and black. Boom, that's this dude, right? And then you say how the Islam renews its history every 25,000 years. There's another sect that doesn't say 25,000 years, but it says 6,000 years, right? So when I look at where is the people who are teaching this at coming from? What part of the world are they coming from? And when I get to look at that, it's going to point you to a direction in that Middle East, because those are the only time you see those people. Then there's new information that came out, such as his son, Max Ford, even though that was mentioned in the FBI records, but there's something else that came with it. This is a whole long story, bro. But I would say look at his the best thing that I ever saw was the understanding of those teachings and where it came from.
Yeah, I hear you. And there's a very good book
We
called
gonna call it
Chameleon.
scam guard because he was scammed. Listen, bro, he was charging niggas $1 for them names, bro. You gonna pay to get this new name, nigga. You
I,
gonna
I
pay
made a
to
video
get
about
this
that.
name.
I made a video about that. Like, the dollar back then, it's like worth so much money. But are you familiar with the book Chameleon?
Yes, sir. I have that right on my desk.
Yeah, I think it's a nice one, and it has a lot of newspaper article, and the John
I'm
Morrow.
gonna. His name. Oh, go ahead. A.K. Arian. What's a pseudonym is? We don't know who that is, but go ahead.
Yeah, we don't know what it is in his. He puts doctor in his name, but I don't know about his credentials. But and then there's the one I think you mentioned it one time on some live stream by Andrew.
Yes,
Finding
that book right
Farm.
there.
That guy is a
That
PhD.
book
Yeah,
right there is one of the best books or the new up to date shit on it. I bought it from
yeah,
Google Bookstore. I got it. I paid $100 for that fucking book.
yeah. I got the physical copy. I haven't finished yet, and I'm looking for Fatima Fanusia's book, which hasn't been released yet for her dissertation. So
Yeah, I saw her
you know,
dissertation on YouTube. She got a different perspective on it,
yeah,
but
she's on the
it's
Ahmadiyya, which also
yeah,
influenced the
yeah.
Sharia
She
of
said
Islam.
the, yeah, she says that, but I kind of I don't see that. So the thing is, you're dealing with a mystery man. I mean, so like we looking at like when we was looking at Noble Jew Ali, I could tell you who his name is. His name is not Timothy, it's Thomas. I could tell you where the dude is from. I could tell you what he was doing before he became this. You can find exactly where he was teaching, where this shit came from. With this dude, you ain't doing that. You can't. It's like